right? So I pulled her aside and I asked her, and I said, why didn't you want to take the cannabis butter banner? And she said that she's from Peru, and back in her country, her family that will see, like if that picture gets online, and her people see that, then they're gonna like talk shit to her. So I was tripping out, because I mean, I left Brazil when I was a kid. I don't really remember too much of like, the negativity of cannabis over there. Like that's not a topic of me that I, deal with anymore. But hearing it from her today, it reminded me, it was like, yo, like, not in every part of the world it's accepted. And a lot of people walking through our booth today, because we have a booth downstairs, like, a lot of people were like, oh, only in California, only in LA, like you see us like promoting cannabis. And, it's not acceptable everywhere. It's like, there's still like, in the world, there's still like a negative, like, people looking at it in a negative light. And, I don't know, I feel like we gotta do something about that, but, it starts at home, right? It starts through communicating with your friends, education, picking up an edibles magazine and reading about it and telling somebody about it. And that's one of the many things, Another thing that happened today is that the designers of the Scooby-Doo comic books they're downstairs, so I was like a big fan. I went over there to talk to them. And I'm like, yo, man, the mystery machine. Look, I showed him the pictures of my van. I showed him the pictures of me with the Scooby-Doo costume earlier, and I was all excited. And I was telling him, like, yo, I showed him my logo, like, yo, the mystery baking is like, And the dude is like, yo, man, you're talking to the wrong people. Like, we don't support cannabis. And I was like, yo, it's like, it's not for everybody, I guess, So it's like, it's weird. It's like, there's some people still even to, here on the floor, like against cannabis. And, I don't know if they don't know about the benefit. It's not for everybody, I get it, But, like, I wouldn't put somebody down because they don't smoke or, everybody has different beliefs. And if it's not for you, it's not for you, it's all good. But, like, that was like a messed up moment for me because I was like, came in like as a fan. And I left there with my head down. I was like, oh, shit.
And Shaggy was a stoner. Come on.
It's crushing. Yeah, it's crushing because, like, for me watching the Scooby-Doo, it's like, these kids are high as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, they're like super. I mean, to me, Shaggy is always hungry. Like,
yeah, they got mad munchies constantly.
They wear the same clothes every day.
They're also, because when they order it, they're like, give me a large pizza with extra ice cream and whipped cream and chocolate on it.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, like what we were talking about earlier, right? It's like, how people view cannabis. And even in the Scooby-Doo theme, it's like, you see somebody smoking, he's going to want to eat everything, he's going to want to...
I mean, funny, it's one of the more realistic depictions of the stereotypes that we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm about to get in the munchies right about now.
We're going to do a little bit of trivia in a moment to give some stuff away, but what are from the audience, some of the earliest instances of seeing cannabis depicted in the media that you remember? So we have a few different ages going on. How high? How high is a good one, too.
It's not really media, but growing up in a Hispanic family, sometimes they'd rather, see you doing like harder stuff than smoking weed.
Is that crazy, bro? Is that crazy?
Yeah. What was it?
Grandma's boy.
Rolling Loud.
Grandma's boy.
Grandma's boy!
Yeah.
Super high. Super high is good.
Yeah.
Grandma's boy was interesting because every time he'd go to buy, Dante would tell him all the different strains. I don't care what it is. Which?
Oh yeah, Mac and them would go to high school. Have y'all seen that?
Oh yeah.
How about a Serpico with all the cops smoke joints? Classic. Classic. Well, Pacino was a hippie in that one.
It's true.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder. He was talking up in the old Western show.
Right?
Was it in Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddle.
I like the beginning of How High because it was kind of like an old Reese's ad where like the one guy had the blunt and the other guy had the weed.
Right.
I mean, the guy with the one with the blunt, I think that was Redman. I know, it was a really good deal. I got a 99-cent cigar wrap. Do you have $25? Stick in it.
Well, and Easy Rider was a great PSA because Jack was an alcoholic. And they go, Jack, you got to chill, homie. You just got to smoke some of this.
That's right.
And he found it, you know.
That's a really good example like we talked about earlier, because while that was happening, Easy Rider, on TV, you couldn't do anything like that. Like the guys on Dragnet were busting people for nothing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about music a little, because Tommy and Scooby are both deep cut hip hop enthusiasts.
Yeah.
What's the earliest rap song you remember?
I mean, I'll tell you one, Bone Thugs. So back in like 8th grade, man, me and my friends, we used to try to like copy the words and like recite, like rap them or whatever. Like we weren't good or anything, but that was like 8th grade for me, and I'm like listening to like Bone Thugs and I'm like, oh shit, like, they smoking weed, so like that was interesting, but yeah, that was one of my favorite songs, like the Bone Thugs weed song, and one of the Bone Thugs song, like in a music video, halfway through the video, there's a Chronic Candy commercial. And that's like a real company that still sells edibles today. And like I forgot the name of the song, but they're rapping, the music's going on, and then like the dude opens the trunk, and then the girl pulls out the lollipops, and she's like, every lick is like taking a hit. And it's like a Chronic Candy commercial, like in between the song, So, music's being used to promote cannabis since I can't remember, I guess,
Yeah, I think Bone Thugs for sure. Cypress Hill for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Cypress
real.
I mean, the happiest day of that guy's life was when, like California, you could start smoking on social media, and he was doing just like gravity bongs on Instagram Live.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy for him.
Oh, yeah.
A long time coming for him.
Does anybody remember? Probably not. I'm so old. Tom Petty had this song.
Oh, yeah.
This was in the '90s where he would say, "Let's get to the point. Let's roll another."
Oh, yeah.
The radio edit at the time was, "Let's get to the point. Let's roll another George." Because you couldn't say the word George on the radio in 1990.
On the radio, they'd be like, hey, 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 hey. And then the song would just end.
Yeah.
All right, now Britney Spears. There's another part to that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would just whisper.
it's funny because on the TV shows that we watch now, almost every single thing that we watch has cannabis. Like on Peacemaker on HBO.
Well, all like the Netflix like shows that are like, basically what were the CW shows of the 90s, where it's like kids in high school, they're like, I vape. Like they all vape.
Right, it took a while for people to start. I think the first time I saw somebody really using a vape was in the movie Why Him with Bryan Cranston and James Franco, where you see Mega Mullally is hitting a vape and she says,
You
it's
saw
a...
that movie, you didn't see half vape for like 30 years. Why you came out on there?
I wasn't watching movies about weed for some reason. But she holds out the pen and says, it's a medical marijuana machine. It cures your glaucoma. It's not smoking. It's vape. James Franco probably wrote it. And maybe on Broad City, they would do the vape life thing every now and then, but they were hitting the dryer.
Well, and then the High Maintenance, the web series, that then became the show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. How about the show Weeds? Classic. Classic.
Weeds for
Kind of accurate for trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting too, because on Weeds, the guys decided to get their cards and then started going to dispensaries, and she talked them out of it and to buying it legally again, because
Yep.
I think, so they wouldn't lose their kids by being on record for having a license.
We could say weeds was about anything that appears. This room doesn't seem too familiar with it. Yeah, I like weeds. Kind of definitely shows people like that everything's right. Like that was one of those shows that was like, all right, if you're gonna try and like pigeonhole who weed smokers are, you're gonna be very surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weeds was actually based off of a real person, a real story. Yeah, Nancy Botman, she had a dispensary in West Hollywood. And I think they made it past legalization, and then they might have sold off. You remember the show?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, she was,
She
she
was
actually,
really upset, right?
well, she was mad because she didn't get any credit for consulting on the show.
Oh.
She didn't get paid, she didn't get any credit.
Oh.
But there's like a Vice episode if you guys want to look it up.
She consult on disjointed.
I think she did consult on Disjointed, which, I mean, I would say contributed to how bad it was. I mean, it was Chuck Lorre, right? He's the one producing
Right.
it. 2.5 Men, you know, we're basically making it. Like, what was most offensive to me was the laugh track. And then you notice, like, a couple episodes in, like, everybody's mad at the laugh track and they stopped using the laugh track. Canned laughter, you know? But, you know, anybody watch The Boys? Yeah. I mean, it's, like, so normalized in that show. Peacemaker. Peacemaker.
Yeah, on both of those it was interesting, because on The Boys, when Soldier Boy's smoking it, and he's like, I can't believe this is legal now. I used to lock up so many assholes for smoking this shit, as he puffs away. And in Peacemaker, I think Peacemaker and Vigilante had just, let's say, made love to the same woman, sleeping in bed. And Peacemaker and the lady are passing it, and Vigilante's like, I can't believe it's legal now. I used to kill people for this. So both those shows are really like highlighting the differences that even like a psychotic crime fighter can think about the difference between being illegal and legal.
Also, one thing like about the movies and things that before, like there was a lot of movies like coming out like Grandma's Boy, a lot of like comedy cannabis movies, right? And now not so much. Like there's not that many movies coming out all the time about
Right now
comedy
you
and
just see a
cannabis.
regular old
Yeah.
drama, and people are smoking or vaping or
Yeah,
eating
it's
gummies.
not-
Like on White Lotus, they're eating gummies.
They smuggle them to Italy.
Yeah, which is the most realistic thing that you can smoke.
You want a gummy?
And another thing too, like at concerts, right? Like I know you mentioned Cypress Hill earlier. And once again, Javi actually works for Be Real from Cypress Hill on a daily basis. Keep throwing them out there, but like at the Cypress Hill concerts, I would go to them all the time, and like there was like a ritual that would happen, like in the middle of the show, right? Like they will pop up this big like Buddha, and then they'll bring out the 6-foot bong, and like it will be like a ritual during the concert, and it was like super illegal, and it would get everybody excited. And now it's like I haven't seen them doing that in a long time, right? So it's not as attractive to have like somebody smoking on stage. Or maybe it's not as attractive to have.
We're gonna do that.
You know what I mean? We gotta do that tonight. Yeah. If y'all wanna get a little litty later, we're doing
Oh, yeah.
after party.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Smoke out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be food, free food.
Yeah.
But you gotta probably get there early because it's gonna eat
Cannabis
really
food.
fast.
It's gonna be amazing. Good luck. Starts at 8
8
o'clock.
p.m.
How about the Freak Brothers cartoon? You seen that?
The what?
That new Freak Brothers cartoon?
Freak Brothers?
Get out of here.
Yeah.
We got 12 minutes, guys.
Did somebody mention the Freak Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the earliest reference to cannabis in a comic book
Yeah.
I can ever remember. I went to a smoke shop in like the 7th grade, I think looking for a poncho.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And they had a spinner rack of old underground comics, and I got one of those comics and I read it, and I started smoking weed like 2 days later.
There you go.
It really, really was. So we have some stuff that we're going to give away. We hope we see everybody at the party tonight. If you want to follow us all, see what's up on Instagram, social, or anything else, all of our
Social media.
We'll be back.
Don't follow Eric Roberts or Rex
Send them a get well card. seriously though, I hope they're good.
Well, our thoughts and prayers are with them.
They just didn't want to make it a super spreader.
Oh, I'm good for that. That's-
So we have some hats to give away real quick. If you look in Edibles magazine.
In the room.
Turn it off.
All right, we'll be back.